Ladies and gentlemen, friends, seekers of wisdom and growth, today I want to talk to you about a principle so simple, yet so powerful, that it has the ability to transform relationships, businesses, and even lives. That principle is the golden rule of hospitality. Treat others the way you wish to be treated. Hospitality is not just about serving food, opening doors, or welcoming people into a space. It is about creating an experience, an atmosphere of kindness, respect, and genuine care. It is about making people feel seen, valued, and appreciated. And here's the truth: the way you treat others becomes a mirror that reflects back into your own life. Think about it. When you walk into a place and someone greets you with a warm smile, when they truly listen to you, when they go out of their way to make you feel comfortable, don't you immediately feel at ease? Don't you feel a sense of belonging? That's the magic of hospitality. Now imagine being the person who gives that gift to others. Imagine being the reason someone feels special, safe, and respected. That is living the golden rule in action. Hospitality is not just for restaurants, hotels, or businesses. It belongs in our homes, our workplaces, our friendships, and our daily encounters with strangers. The golden rule tells us that if we desire respect, we must show respect. If we want kindness, we must first offer kindness. If we long for trust, we must first be trustworthy. Great leaders, world changers, and history makers understood this. They knew that true power lies not in demanding service, but in serving others with humility and grace. Hospitality is leadership. Hospitality is influence. Hospitality is love in motion. So I challenge you today: be the one who welcomes, not the one who waits to be welcomed. Be the one who extends kindness even when it isn't convenient. Be the one who uplifts others, because you never know the battles they are silently fighting. A smile, a kind word, a thoughtful gesture can turn someone's entire day around. The golden rule of hospitality isn't just about making others feel good. It's about creating a ripple effect that circles back to you. When you treat others with dignity and care, life has a way of rewarding you with the same. So let us live by this golden rule, not just in theory, but in action. Let us practice it in every room we enter, every hand we shake, every soul we meet. Because at the end of the day, people may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Treat others the way you wish to be treated, and watch how doors of opportunity, trust, and love open for you. That, my friends, is the true power of hospitality. Kindness is one of the most powerful forces we have within us, and when it is expressed through hospitality, it becomes even more meaningful. To live by the golden rule of hospitality means to treat others the way we want to be treated, and the simplest way to do that is through kindness. Think about the last time someone treated you with unexpected kindness. It may have been as small as a smile from a stranger, someone holding the door open for you, or a person genuinely asking how your day was and actually listening to your response. That moment didn't just pass by unnoticed. It left a lasting impression on your heart. It made you feel valued, and perhaps it even changed the energy of your day. Now imagine being the person who gives that gift of kindness to others. Imagine how many lives you could impact by making kindness a habit. When you walk into a room with a heart full of kindness, you set the tone. People are drawn to that warmth like moths to a flame. They feel safe, they feel accepted, and they feel uplifted. That is what hospitality is all about: making others feel that they matter. Hospitality does not require great resources or extravagant gestures. It begins with the small things we often overlook. A smile costs nothing, but it can make someone feel like $1 million. A kind word takes only a moment, but it can echo in someone's mind for days, reminding them that they are not invisible, that they are appreciated. The truth about kindness is that it is contagious. When you treat someone with genuine care, they often pass it along to the next person they encounter. It creates a chain reaction, a ripple effect that goes further than you can imagine. One act of kindness could be the reason someone decides to keep pushing forward. One simple gesture could restore someone's faith in humanity. And the beauty of hospitality is that it creates an environment where kindness doesn't just happen occasionally, but becomes the culture, the norm, the expectation. Kindness also transforms the one who gives it. When you make it a habit to treat others the way you want to be treated, you begin to see the world differently. You shift your focus from what you lack to what you can give. That change in perspective brings more gratitude into your life, and gratitude opens the door to joy. You become more patient, more compassionate, and more understanding. And in return, life mirrors back to you the kindness you give away. People remember you for how you made them feel, and those memories often turn into opportunities, friendships, and blessings you never expected. Living with kindness at the core of hospitality is not about being perfect or pretending to always have it together. It's about choosing to show up with love, even in the smallest of ways. It's about recognizing that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you may not see, and that your kindness could be the light they need in that dark moment. So choose kindness every day, not because others always deserve it, but because kindness is who you are. By living this way, you honor the golden rule of hospitality and create a world where everyone feels welcome, valued, and cared for. Respect is the foundation of all meaningful human connection, and in the realm of hospitality, it becomes the cornerstone of trust. The golden rule of hospitality urges us to treat others the way we want to be treated, and at the heart of that lies respect. Every person, regardless of their background, culture, or status, longs to be treated with dignity. When you honor someone with respect, you are telling them without words, you matter, you are valued, you deserve to be seen. That acknowledgement builds a bridge of trust that no amount of wealth or power can replace. When we think about hospitality, it's easy to focus only on service, the food, the setting, the environment, but respect elevates service into something more meaningful. True hospitality is not about impressing people with perfection, but about making them feel comfortable and important. When you speak to others with kindness in your tone, when you listen to them without interrupting, when you take their opinions and needs seriously, you are showing them that they matter. That act of respect leaves a mark deeper than any luxury or material gift could ever provide. Respect is also about equality. Too often, people give respect selectively, based on who they think deserves it, but the golden rule teaches us differently. Just as we want to be respected no matter our circumstances, we must also offer respect freely to others. It doesn't matter whether someone is a leader in a company, a server in a restaurant, or a stranger you'll never meet again. Each person deserves to be treated with the same level of dignity. Hospitality shines brightest when respect is offered without condition, without expectation, and without judgment. Trust, once built, becomes the greatest reward of respect. Think about the people you trust most in your life. They are likely those who respect your boundaries, your time, your opinions, and your heart. The same applies in every area of hospitality. Guests return to a place where they feel respected. Employees thrive in workplaces where their contributions are valued. Friends stay loyal when they know they are honored and not taken for granted. Respect creates stability in relationships, and stability builds trust that stands the test of time. When we choose respect, we also teach others how to treat us. The way we carry ourselves, the way we speak, and the way we serve sets a standard. People mirror the energy they receive. If we show respect consistently, it creates an environment where respect flows both ways, naturally and effortlessly, and even when it doesn't, we can stand with integrity, knowing we upheld the golden rule. Living with respect as a guiding principle does not mean we will always agree with everyone, but it means we choose to honor their humanity regardless of differences. It means we listen more than we speak, we lift others instead of tearing them down, and we build bridges instead of walls. Respect is powerful because it is the seed from which trust grows, and trust is the soil where lasting relationships flourish. When we embrace respect as an essential part of hospitality, we don't just create moments, we create bonds that can last a lifetime. ChatGPT said, "Service and leadership may seem like two different paths, but in truth, they are one and the same." The golden rule of hospitality teaches us that to lead is to serve, and to serve is to lead. Too often, people think leadership is about authority, titles, or control, but the most powerful leaders in history understood that their true strength came from serving others. Hospitality is the purest form of service, and when practiced with authenticity, it becomes the highest form of leadership. When you serve others with humility, you inspire loyalty and trust. People are far more willing to follow someone who demonstrates care than someone who demands obedience. A leader who walks into a room and prioritizes the needs of others over their own ego earns respect without ever having to ask for it. Service doesn't make you small, it makes you powerful because it connects you to people's hearts. When people feel genuinely cared for, they will go further, give more, and stand stronger by your side. Hospitality offers countless examples of how service is leadership in action. Think about someone who goes beyond the call of duty to make a guest comfortable. They anticipate needs before they are spoken, they show empathy without judgment, and they make others feel at home no matter where they are. That is not weakness, it is influence. That is not submission, it is strength. Because in that moment, they are guiding the experience, setting the tone, and shaping the environment for everyone around them. True leadership is about creating an atmosphere where others feel safe, valued, and inspired. Service as leadership also teaches humility. When you put yourself in the position of serving others, you learn to let go of pride and embrace compassion. You begin to understand that leadership is not about being the most important person in the room. It is about making everyone else feel important. A servant leader measures success not by their own achievements, but by the growth, well-being, and happiness of those they serve. This is the essence of hospitality, shifting the focus from self to others and realizing that in lifting others, we rise ourselves. There is a misconception that service diminishes authority, but the opposite is true. Service enhances authority because it creates influence rooted in love and respect. A leader who commands through fear may gain temporary obedience, but a leader who serves through hospitality gains long-term loyalty. People remember the leaders who made them feel valued, not the ones who demanded power. That memory becomes legacy. Living this principle daily requires intention. It means asking yourself, how can I make this person's experience better? How can I lighten their burden? How can I leave them feeling better than when I found them? Each answer becomes an act of leadership because you are guiding not only their experience, but also setting an example for others to follow. When you embrace service as leadership, you realize that hospitality is not confined to restaurants, hotels, or events. It is a way of life. It belongs in families, communities, workplaces, and friendships. Every moment is a chance to lead by serving, to guide by caring, and to influence by uplifting. The golden rule of hospitality makes leadership accessible to everyone because anyone can serve and therefore anyone can lead. Presence is one of the greatest expressions of hospitality because it communicates something deeper than words ever could. You matter, and you are worth my time. In a world filled with distractions, constant notifications, and endless to-do lists, true presence has become rare and therefore priceless. The golden rule of hospitality reminds us to treat others as we wish to be treated, and at the heart of that is the desire to be fully seen, heard, and valued. When we give someone our full presence, we are giving them a gift that cannot be bought. It is a gift of our attention, our energy, and our heart. Think about the last time you had a conversation with someone who was completely present with you. They weren't glancing at their phone, looking over your shoulder, or rushing you to finish. Instead, they listened, nodded, and allowed space for your words to flow. How did that feel? Chances are it left you with a sense of connection, a sense of importance, and a feeling of being truly valued. Now imagine living by that principle every day, offering others that same gift of presence. That is hospitality in its purest form. Presence is powerful because it acknowledges the humanity of the other person. So often, people carry invisible burdens, stress, doubts, fears, that go unnoticed because no one takes the time to slow down and listen. By being present, you create a safe space for others to feel understood, and sometimes that is the very thing they need most. A listening ear or an attentive smile can heal in ways that grand gestures never could. Presence is not about solving every problem, but about letting others know they are not alone in their journey. Hospitality rooted in presence is not limited to conversations. It extends to every interaction. It means showing up fully, whether you are serving a meal, working with a colleague, or spending time with family. It's about being mindful in the moment, not rushing through tasks, and not treating people like interruptions to your day. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to leave someone feeling better than before they met you. When you bring presence into hospitality, you create experiences that linger long after the moment has passed. The beauty of presence is that it enriches both the giver and the receiver. When you are fully present, you notice details you might have missed otherwise. The sparkle in someone's eyes when they talk about their passion, the subtle emotion behind their words, the gratitude in their smile. These small observations deepen connection and remind you of the richness of human interaction. For yourself, presence brings peace because it pulls you out of the chaos of the past and the worry of the future and anchors you in the gift of now. The golden rule of hospitality thrives when we practice presence because we all want to be treated as if our time, our words, and our lives matter. By giving presence, you elevate ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. You don't need wealth, status, or power to offer this gift. You just need the willingness to slow down, to listen, and to show others that they are worth your undivided attention. That simple choice can change lives, build trust, and create bonds that last a lifetime. Achieved, or what struggles we face, we all long for a place where we feel accepted, valued, and safe. The golden rule of hospitality teaches us to treat others the way we want to be treated, and at its heart lies the power to create that very sense of belonging. Hospitality is more than offering a meal, a seat, or a service. It is about extending a sense of home to others, no matter where they are. It's about telling someone, through your words and actions, you are welcome here. You are part of this space. You belong. Think about the times you have entered a room where you felt like an outsider. Perhaps people didn't acknowledge you, or you sensed you weren't included. That feeling of isolation is heavy and painful. Now contrast it with a time when someone welcomed you with warmth, introduced you to others, or made sure you were comfortable. In that moment, you no longer felt invisible. You felt connected, accepted, and at ease. That is the magic of hospitality. It turns strangers into friends and unfamiliar spaces into places of comfort. Belonging is powerful because it allows people to relax and be themselves. When we feel like we belong, we don't have to wear masks or prove our worth. We simply exist as we are, knowing we are valued. Hospitality creates this by opening doors, offering kindness without condition, and making space for people to feel included. It's not about perfection or luxury, it's about presence, warmth, and genuine care. Even small gestures, remembering someone's name, offering a smile, saving a seat, can build a sense of belonging that changes how people see themselves and others. Hospitality that creates belonging is especially important in today's world, where loneliness is rising despite all our digital connections. Many people move through their days feeling unseen and disconnected, even while surrounded by others. By practicing the golden rule, we can counter this by intentionally making people feel part of something bigger, whether in a workplace, a home, a classroom, or even a passing interaction. We can choose to create inclusivity. This is not about grand gestures. It's about consistent acts of care that say, you are not alone. The beauty of belonging is that it not only strengthens individuals, but also strengthens communities. When people feel they belong, they contribute more, share more, and care more. A sense of belonging fosters trust, cooperation, and unity. It breaks down barriers of division and builds bridges of connection. Hospitality becomes the glue that holds people together, reminding them that they are part of a shared human experience. Living out this principle requires intention. It means being the person who notices when someone feels left out and bringing them in. It means creating spaces where diversity is embraced and differences are celebrated. It means valuing people not for what they can give, but simply for who they are. When we live this way, we reflect the deepest essence of the Golden Rule. Hospitality that creates belonging is not just an act, it's a legacy. People may forget the food you served or the place they visited, but they will never forget how you made them feel like they belonged. That feeling lingers in their hearts long after the moment has passed. By offering belonging to others, we build a world where kindness, connection, and unity thrive. And in doing so, we discover that we too belong, not just to a space, but to each other. Life has a remarkable way of returning to us what we give out, and nowhere is this more evident than in the practice of hospitality. The Golden Rule of hospitality teaches us to treat others the way we wish to be treated. And the truth is that when we pour kindness, respect, and care into others, it always finds its way back to us, often multiplied. This is not about expecting rewards or keeping score. It's about understanding that generosity and compassion create cycles of positivity that circle back in ways we may not even anticipate. When you give someone your time, attention, or kindness, you plant a seed. That seed may seem small, like offering a smile, holding the door, or showing patience in a difficult moment, but over time it grows. Sometimes it comes back through the gratitude of the very person you helped, and other times it returns through entirely different channels. An unexpected opportunity, a relationship you didn't see coming, or even just the quiet joy of knowing you made a difference. What you put into the world doesn't disappear. It circulates, and eventually it comes home. Hospitality makes this truth visible. When you treat guests, friends, or even strangers with care, they often respond with appreciation, loyalty, and trust. A business built on genuine hospitality doesn't just attract customers, it keeps them because people return to places where they felt valued. In families and friendships, the same is true. When you invest love, respect, and generosity into others, you strengthen the bond, and that bond supports you in return when you need it most. Hospitality, at its core, is about sowing goodness into the lives of others, and life has a way of ensuring that goodness is never wasted. There is also a deeper transformation that happens when you give without expecting in return. You grow. Each time you extend kindness or practice hospitality, you become more patient, more compassionate, and more resilient. You begin to see abundance instead of scarcity. You stop focusing only on what you lack and start noticing what you have to share. This shift in perspective changes your energy, and that energy attracts more of the same into your life. It is not magic. It is simply the natural law of reciprocity. What you give, you eventually receive. It's important to understand that the return may not always come immediately or from the same person. Sometimes the kindness you give today might circle back years later through someone else entirely. Sometimes the respect you offer opens a door you didn't even know existed. And sometimes the return is not material at all. It is the peace you feel, the joy of connection, or the gratitude that fills your heart. These are rewards far greater than anything money could buy. The Golden Rule of hospitality is a reminder that life is not meant to be lived with closed fists, guarding what we have out of fear of loss. Instead, it is meant to be lived with open hands, giving freely, trusting that what we give returns to us in the right time and form. So continue to treat others with kindness, respect, and warmth, even when it's not convenient, even when it feels unnoticed, because nothing given with a sincere heart is ever wasted. The love, care, and generosity you share will always find their way back, blessing your life in ways you may never have imagined.